Simasiku and his cousin Richard Kamwi started off distributing materials, especially at secondary schools, under the pretense that they were selling maize meal from Zambia to the then Southwest Africa, now Namibia. The SWAPO brochures were brought from Francistown to Kasani by a certain Ipumbu who represented SWAPO there.
In those bags of meal, it was not only the bags of meal. It was the bags whereby when we arrived or when we met, we have to remove the cotton of other bags and put the material, the booklets of SWAPO in those bags. And when we travel, by then I still remember Mr. Richard Kamwi was having a blue Mazda with a number plate 200, ECZ 200. In those bags of meal, you will find that we remove some of the meal, we put some pamphlets in the meal, so that the pamphlets, when we arrive here in Katimamuli, we remove them from the bags of meal, so that we disseminate to the schools at the Kaprivi Secondary School by then.
Kamwi at the time worked as a health inspector at the Katimamuli Law Hospital, and his work phone was used to communicate with SWAPO in exile. Because of the commitment showed by Simasiku team, Ipumbu made arrangements to meet SWAPO commanders in the Northeastern Division stationed in Lusaka. This resulted in Simasiku illegally crossing into Zambia, where he received 3 weeks of extensive training in landmine operations and carried out his first assignment upon completion.
The mission was that, or instruction that, I must see to it that the Privy Administration building is destroyed. It took me about a week to survey how I must put the landmines. Where should I put the landmine? What time should I put the landmine? I found that the easiest place that was so common, used by anybody, it was the toilet. That was used by everybody. Luckily and fortunately, Mr. Pina was supposed to have the meeting on that 24th of October, 1984. I don't forget that date. When it was exactly 7:30, I collected my landmines where the offices of agriculture are now, where I came and hid them, ready for the action. I went with them. I collected the black plastic. I went with the black plastic. When I arrived in the toilet, before I arrived within the toilet, I passed by in the front of the police station, Katimamuli police station. I went straight to the toilet as if I was going to pee. Now I wrapped my briefcase nicely, and all the package, the TNTs, the limpet mine, the magnetic mine, they were put together in the briefcase. Then I went in that toilet as if I was peeing. Then I found one lady who was cleaning. Then I said, can you excuse me, I want to use the toilet. Luckily she went out. Then I went into the toilet and I found the key in the toilet. Then I removed the pin from the magnetic bomb, which is commonly called a time bomb. I wrapped it nicely. I left it in the toilet by the pot. I left it there. Then I came out. I locked the toilet. Off I went.
Then why did you lock the toilet?
The reason why I locked the toilet was that nobody should come and use the toilet, so that the work can be done.
Simasiku successfully planted the bombs at Kaprivi administration and Kaprivi Toyota Caltech service stations.
I did not tell anybody. The first landmine, I did not tell Mr. Richard Kamwi, Dr. Richard Kamwi, that I came with the landmines. No. It was a 1 month show, because in the liberation struggle, you had to know the length of the shadow of your friend, of your enemy. We were not sharing such kind of information. It wasn't. He didn't even know that I came with the landmines. If he knew it, but I did not tell him. The second landmines which I came with, I did not tell him. But I was from his house. He only missed me. He did not ask me, where were you? He did not ask me, when did you come? But when I came back, the first trip, I met him. The second trip, I met him. He just said, my cousin, are you around? I said, I am around.
The two Caltech stations were destroyed on the evening of 15th April 1985, and Simasiku was evaded suspicion until he traveled back to Zambia. Richard Kamwe, Charles Lutokwasa Mpati, Michael Mulapan Likando, Tedius Malumo, and late Masubiyanga Mbelantelamo and Victor Sabuta, amongst others, ended up being arrested for the bombing. Though upon his return to Namibia to carry out another assignment at Pacha Military Base supermarket, Simasiku was arrested and faced both beatings and torture.
I can't forget their names. It was Sergeant Van Stripe and Sergeant Kruger. When they came, they found one man on the door. They knocked at my door. They went into my room, my office. When they went into my office, they just said, "Can you come here?" I stood up. By then, I already suspected that no white man could come to me in my office, that there must be something wrong, or I am reported.
Simasiku later admitted having planted the bomb at the Caprivi administration only, and was charged, tried and sentenced to 10 years imprisonment. He was, however, released in September 1986 along with 23 other Namibian political prisoners. After his release, he went back to Old Musika at Katimamlilo, where he hid the remaining landmines in a briefcase, which he kept to date. For all that independence cost, Simasiku is calling on Namibians to be proud of the gains that the SWAPO as a liberation movement and as a government has made.
The independence of this country did not come on the silver platter. We suffered. I suffered. They suffered. The only thing is not for you to become reactionaries of the independent country. You are going to suffer because Namibia is already independent. When Namibia is already independent, and when you get arrested today, you are going to be called a rebel. And you don't know when a rebel is going to be independent or going to be released.
Sidilom Viana, NBC News, Katimamlilo.